A bit of Hollywood is taking up shop in the mountains. News 13's Victoria Dunkle is streaming live from the secret filming location for a new movie called Shadows on the Wall. Victoria, where is that going to be there this morning?
Well, we're actually somewhere in Henderson County. I can't get more specific than that because, well, obviously, this is a closed movie set, and we have special invitation to be here this morning. They're actually filming some scenes. They're getting things set up behind me right now. But this is just a little bit of the vibe that's going on because a lot of people, let's face it, we all want to be on the set of a major movie at some point and just to see what goes on. And when we want to know what's going on, I talked to Anderson Ellis. You're the producer of the movie.
I am.
And the movie's called Shadows on the Wall.
It is.
Now, who's behind this? How did it get here? Because, you know, we know that Western North Carolina is the best place to make a movie ever. Right. But how do you convince the Hollywood folks to sign on for this?
Well, the director, Ben Carlin, did a movie in 2009. He shot on the eastern coast of North Carolina in Wilmington. And so he already knew, he was familiar with the film community in North Carolina, knew how receptive, you know, these towns were to having these done. So it was a natural progression for us to come western and film in the mountains, a different location.
Now, how did you get involved in producing movies?
Well, I've known Ben for years and years. He came to me about probably 8 months ago with an idea for another movie that he had written and wanted to direct. So we worked together to raise the money, to get it going, and secure the locations.
Here, we're looking at the backdrop here. This is the set. This is where they're actually shooting the scenes of the movie. What's the storyline?
Well, the story is about a college student named Palmer. And Palmer is a bit of a socially inept individual, but what he's very good at is building machines, technologically very sound. And he builds sort of what becomes his great machine that allows for some things to happen, you know, communicating into space that are pretty remarkable, but there are consequences to that machine.
I don't know if I like the sounds of that. I've got to see what happens. I can't wait. We're going to actually see a little bit more of the filmmaking going on this morning, talking to some of the crew as well as the cast members. And I got to tell you, one of the cast members, well, her face may be a little familiar to folks in our area. Some homegrown talent in this movie as well. We're here all morning long behind the scenes of Shadows on the Wall, reporting live in somewhere in Henderson County. Victoria Dunkle, News 13.
A major motion picture is filming right here in the mountains, and this morning we are getting special access. News 13's Victoria Dunkle is streaming live from the set of Shadows on the Wall in Henderson County. Vic, this is very exciting for us.
It is really exciting. I mean, we just watched them rehearse a scene, and it is really going to be a super compelling movie. The whole idea is a sci-fi suspense. And in our last half hour, we talked a little bit about what the movie's about and how it got here. But now we're talking about the international cast of stars. I mean, we've got people who are from all over the world here in the mountains taking part, playing the roles of this movie. In fact, that includes Tim Fox here. And you and I were just talking about what brought you into this project. How did you get involved with Shadows on the Wall?
Well, I'm in Los Angeles currently, and Ben contacted me after I submitted myself for the film, and it just was a really, really good script, really interesting, very different take on sci-fi, which is what intrigued me. Also, shooting outside of California, which is always a bonus for actors.
Really?
Yeah, just being able to get to a place where you can shoot on location is just fantastic. So I just jumped on that opportunity.
That's interesting. I did not realize that there really was such a drive for you all to, you know, leave good old Hollywood and come here to our mountains, I got to say.
Well, no, it's my father grew up in Virginia, real close by to here, so this area is somewhat familiar to me. But you know, it's for me, any opportunity to get anywhere and travel and see new places and just, you know, broaden your scope is fantastic.
Quickly, tell us about your role in the movie.
All right. I am playing Chase, and I'm the cousin of Palmer, who's building the machine.
He's building the machine,
yeah. And I'm basically the financier of the project, and I'm sort of reluctant to start and get involved, but then gradually I become more invested and grow sort of more.
In like 10 seconds, can you tell me what it's been like being in this community? Because, I mean, we love the idea of Hollywood coming here and making movies, but what has it been like from the people here in the mountains interacting with you?
It's fantastic. It's so refreshing to come to a small town and just get to meet the locals who are all very supportive and really invested in what we're doing, even though we're sort of invading their space, but they're super on board. And it's been a lot of fun. I have no complaints.
Except for us maybe getting him up at 4:30 in the morning to do
hey, that's part of the job. You know?
He's such a team player. Thanks so much for talking with us. In our next half hour, we're going to talk to another member of the cast. She has a familiar face to some folks. She grew up around here, got bitten by the acting bug, and now she's made her way back home. We're going to find out a little bit more about what is bringing so many people to the mountains with a love of making movies in one of the prettiest places in the world. Live in Henderson County somewhere, Victoria Dunkle, News 13.
A secret location in the mountains is now home to a major movie set. The project is bringing 24 jobs to our area. News 13's Victoria Dunkle is streaming live from the set. And Victoria, the movie also brings back home some homegrown talent, right?
Absolutely. We've been talking about this morning. First of all, when I tell you this production has brought 28 jobs here to the mountains, not bad. We love to see the boost to the economy that the filmmaking industry brings to the mountains. We're in the set here of the movie. It's called Shadows on the Wall, and as we keep moving over, we're going to see a lovely face that'll be familiar to some folks here. Nicole Lee Durant is a Buncombe County native, and you're back home for this role. Tell us a little bit about how you came full circle like this for us.
Well, basically about 2 years ago, I got a call from my agent in Charlotte, and they asked me to do a commercial for Bank of America. So I headed out there. I ended up meeting my long-lost sister. We turned out to be roommates, and we moved across country. We just took the trip, and we were like, hey, why not? You know, you only live once, so you might as well just head out there and continue your dream. So we made it possible. We made it happen, and then I submitted for this film, and lucky enough, I got the role. And
tell us about your role. Who are you playing in the movie?
I'm playing Alice Ross, who is Palmer, who's the lead, his tutor.
Tutor, okay.
Which is kind of funny for all my teachers that are watching out there. I play his math tutor, so. But yeah, so we work together and we help him create the device. And
what's it been like coming back home in this role as one of the lead characters in this movie, coming back to see people you know?
You know, it's a really unique experience for me just because my family's here and, you know, all my friends are here, and it's quite engaging for me just because I'm able to just, you know, say hi to them on my days off, and instead of being somewhere in a remote location, I'm able to just be familiar with the environment here.
And play tour guide for all your buddies in the set.
Exactly.
Well, the movie is going to be filming here for a few more weeks. It's very exciting. The movie is taking place, and we're filming somewhere in Henderson County. Coming up in our next half hour, we're going to take a look a little bit more about what it really means as we see Hollywood's interest in the mountains picking up and growing even larger. Reporting live from the secret location of Shadows on the Wall, Victoria Dunkle, News 13.
A major movie is shooting in a secret location here in the mountains. And all morning long, News 13's Victoria Dunkle has been giving us a special live look behind the scenes. So Vic, what made this team actually pick the mountains?
Well, first of all, we all know how beautiful the mountains are. The scenery and the settings are incredible. But once they got here, they were telling me, the producer was telling me, it was because of the way the folks here in the mountains, our friends and neighbors, made them feel welcome. The people in this community have opened their arms and really said, come on in, we want to have you here. They realize the importance and the investment that comes from putting a movie together here in our area. It's a huge economic boom, and it's really important to the community on that level. But it's also kind of fascinating to see what's going on behind the scenes here. In fact, I was talking to Chris Kaufman. He actually plays the lead character in the movie. Palmer?
Yes.
Okay, and Palmer is the creator of a device.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, what did you tell me a little bit about?
So Palmer is kind of this introverted, kind of self-enclosed kind of guy who's working on this device that he just not quite sure what it's going to do yet, but he knows he has to make it. Kind of a passionate dream and desire to create something, and he winds up creating basically a radio that doesn't need a signal, doesn't need any kind of wires or any connection, but he figures out this device that really just takes on a whole life of its own, and the big plot of the film is that, it takes on this life that we don't know what it's going to do, and we hope that he can figure it out.
What's it been like bringing that character to life here in this setting, shooting in our mountains?
It's just so cool being on location in a place like this. It's so beautiful, you know, when you're in LA and you're in sound studios and that sort of thing, that you don't really get that kind of feeling, but you have a live kind of sense of the beauty out here, and it's been really exciting to shoot.
Have you discovered any favorite spots? Have you, because this is really you said you'd stopped by one time in the past, but you've never really visited for a longer period of time.
Sure. Well, the cast and we just went to Asheville the other day, and we got to walk around town. It's really beautiful, and just to see the town folk coming out, and we just went to this great little restaurant restaurant and, you know, had some pub food. It was really delicious and just had a good time.
When you head back out to LA, what are you going to tell your friends? What are you going to tell other people in the industry about filming a movie here in the mountains?
Oh my gosh, do it if you can. If you have the opportunity, get out here. I mean, it's really, and it's growing as a community for film. I mean, the Hunger Games was shot here and a few other things were shot here, so it's really becoming, you know, a second LA, if you will. And I think that's a really great thing for North Carolina, but certainly for us as actors to be able to. We always love being on location if we can.
Well, we love having you here, and if you want to call this your second LA, go ahead.
I will.
Chris Kaufman and Tim Fox and Nicole Durant, the stars of this movie. Post-production is going to start in a few weeks. They're here shooting in a secret location for the next few weeks. Lots to follow when it comes to Shadows on the Wall. We have a website even, and we'll have a link for that at our website, WLOS.com, so you can keep track of how everything progresses and find out when you can get your tickets to see it. It'll be a few months down the road. That's all they'll tell me. Big secrets involved, but lots of excitement here in Henderson County. Victoria Dunkle, News 13.